You just got your VA offer accepted. First of all, congratulations. Take a breath, put down the champagne, back away, and listen to me very carefully. Because getting your offer accepted is only half the battle. Closing the loan is the actual war. Between a signed contract and getting your keys, there is a rigid process. And most veterans go into escrow completely blind, asking, okay, Cathy, when do I get the keys? When do I pay the money? What happens first? What if the appraisal comes in low? Can I still buy furniture? So today, I'm walking you through the real VA timeline, step by step, day by day, and I'm answering the exact questions I hear so you know exactly what to expect. I'm Cathy Sabater. Let's map out your escrow. First, what is escrow? Escrow is the third party neutral company that holds all the money and the documents during the transaction. They don't represent you and they don't represent the seller. Now, let's start with day one. Your realtor calls and says, we are officially under contract. That is when escrow opens and the clock immediately starts ticking. Within the first 24 to 48 hours, two big things happen. First, you wire your earnest money deposit to the escrow company. This is your good faith deposit that proves to the seller that you're serious. Second, your lender, hopefully me, sends your initial loan disclosure. This is an electronic packet that outlines your loan terms, estimated payment, and projected closing costs. First question that most of my veterans ask is, Cathy, do I really need to read all of these pages? Can I just sign it over the weekend? You should absolutely read it. And I personally record a quick video for every client walking you line by line through the loan estimate so you know exactly what your estimated payment and projected closing costs may be. Here's the critical part. You need to sign those disclosures immediately because legally nothing can move further until they're signed. I can't start underwriting. I can't order your VA appraisal. Speed starts right here. If you wait 3 days to sign, you just delayed your closing by 3 days. Once disclosures are signed, your file splits into two tracks. Track 1 is underwriting. Track 2 is the property. Let's talk about track 1, underwriting. This is where a real underwriting verifies your income, assets, credit, and military documents. Within the first week, you'll get your first set of conditions. Conditions are just requests for updated paperwork. Things like recent pay stubs, home property insurance, updated bank statement, HOA, Homeowners Association documents if applicable, or a letter explaining something on your credit. Next veteran question is, Cathy, the underwriting is asking why I had a $2,000 Venmo deposit last month. Did I do something wrong? Are they denying my loan? No. Take a deep breath. Conditions are normal. Everyone gets them. Federal rules require us to source large deposits so it doesn't look like you're secretly borrowed money for closing. Sometimes it's simple as I sold my motorcycle to a buddy, plus I need a bill of sales. Do not panic. Just send what we ask the same day. Now, let's talk about track 2, the property. The same day you sign disclosures, I order your VA appraisal. Some lenders wait to save you the fee in case the deal falls apart. I don't because the appraisal is the biggest bottleneck in the entire timeline. Here's what most veterans don't realize until they're in the thick of it. VA appraisers are not assigned by us. They are assigned by the VA system. And it's like a round robin. Depending on how busy our market is, It can take 5 business days to get that report back. While we're waiting on the appraisal, you hire a private home inspector, usually referred to you by your realtor. Veteran question. Wait. Isn't the VA appraiser inspecting the house? Why do I have to pay another person? The VA appraisal is for the bank. The home inspection is for you. The inspector checks the attic, the electrical panels, plumbing, roof life, appliances, the stuff you need to know before you commit. If the inspector finds a major issue, your realtor negotiates repairs or credits. In some cases, depending on the property and the region, we may also need a termite report, especially in California. If you're buying a condo, we also have one more layer. The condo complex must be VA approved, and if it isn't, that can impact timelines and even eligibility. If there's solar, we need the solar agreement early because it has to be reviewed and cleared before closing. Now, let's fast forward to around day 8 through 12. The VA appraisal comes back. This is usually the most emotional day of escrow. The appraisal is evaluating 2 things. Number 1, the value. Number 2, minimum property requirements, MPR. Let's talk about value first. If you offered $500,000 and the appraiser says it's worth $500,000, we celebrate and move on. But if it comes in low, veteran question, if it appraises at $480,000, do I have to pay the $20,000 difference? Is the deal dead? Not necessarily. VA has a safety net called Tidewater. If the appraiser cannot support the value, they notify the lender, me, before finalizing. That triggers Tidewater. That gives us 48 hours to submit better comparable sales to support the price. It's a built-in defense mechanism to help save your deal. Now, MPRs, minimum property requirements, veteran ask, does the VA make the seller fix every little thing? No. VA cares about health, safety, and structural integrity, not cosmetics. If the home is older and there's peeling paint, that can be flagged as lead-based paint hazard. Missing handrails, exposed wires, roof leaks, those are common MPR flags. If it's a safety issue, it must be fixed before closing, and sometimes the appraiser has to reinspect. Now, the appraisal is back, value is good, repairs are cleared, and you're delivered your updated documents. Your file goes back to the underwriter for final review. You then get the golden email, clear to close. Clear to close means that the loan is approved. No more conditions. But you're still not done. Now we move to the closing disclosure, the CD. This is the official, legal, binding document that shows your final numbers down to the penny. Here's the most important part veterans need to realize. We cannot issue the CD until 2 critical things are done. Number 1, your interest rate must be locked. Second, your home insurance quote must be finalized. The CD, the closing disclosure, has to show your true payment, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. No lock rate means no final payment. No insurance means no accurate escrow numbers. No final numbers mean no CD, no closing disclosure. That's where a lot of closings get delayed. So let's talk homeowners insurance because this is a hidden bottleneck. Veteran question, Cathy, when am I supposed to shop for insurance? As soon as you get under contract, do not wait for the appraisal. Do not wait for underwriting. Start getting quotes immediately. I need your insurance declaration page to generate the closing disclosure. That page shows your premium, your coverage, and your deductible. Without it, your payment is incomplete. So here's the simple rule. By day 7 of escrow, you should already have your insurance selected. Send it to me. I plug it into your file. We lock your rate. Then and only then can we issue the closing disclosure. Veteran question. Is this the same as the loan estimate I signed on day 1? No. The loan estimate is an estimate. The closing disclosure is the final version. By federal law, you must receive and acknowledge your CD closing disclosure at least 3 business days before you can sign your final loan documents. There are no shortcuts. There are no waivers. So once the CD, your closing disclosure, is issued, the mandatory 3-day clock starts. Here is where my process is different. The average VA loan nationwide takes about 30 days to close. Why? Because of disclosures, appraisal orders, underwriting, insurance, and rate locks. Most of my VA loans close in 14 to 21 days, which keeps my veteran buyers competitive. So that 3-day CD clock, your closing disclosure, usually starts earlier in my process, often around 7 or day 12, instead of dragging it out to day 25 or day 30. That's how we protect your timeline. And you get to the finish line faster. In the final stretch, a few days before closing, 3 things are happening at once. Title prepares your final legal documents, confirms your wiring instructions. Your lender, hopefully me, coordinates your funding wire. You schedule your signing appointment either at the title office or with a mobile notary at your kitchen table. Veteran question. How long does signing take? Should I take the whole day off of work? Usually, signing can take about 45 minutes to an hour. Your hand will be cramped. You will sign your name about 60 times. Now, listen to me carefully. There is one day that matters more than any other, and that is funding day. That's the day that the bank wires the money to buy your house. Right before we fund, the lender performs a final verification of employment. The veteran scenario, you're moving, so you put in your 2-week notice because you're already at clear to close. Stop. Do not quit your job. Do not change companies. Do not switch to commission. Do not go to 1099. If HR tells the lender you resign, funding stops immediately, even if you have a new job lined up. Stay employed, stay stable until you have keys in your hand. Now, another warning. During the final week, you'll be instructed to wire your cash to close to escrow. Wire fraud is real. Never wire money based on an email alone. Always call your escrow officer at a verified phone number and confirm the routing and account numbers before you send the money. Finally, the most common question from my veterans are, Cathy, the loan is approved. Can I buy my furniture now? No. No cars, no couches, no new credit cards. Lenders monitor credits until funding. If you finance a refrigerator on the last day, your ratios can change and your loan might be denied at the finish line. Be financially boring until you own the house. So let's summarize the VA Escrow Timeline. Offer accepted, earnest money deposit, disclosures signed, and loan estimates explained. Underwriting begins. appraisal is ordered, inspections and reports are completed, HOA, Homeowners Association, and condo approvals confirmed if applicable, solar documents reviewed if applicable, appraisal returns, conditions are clear, rate lock, home insurance finalized, your closing disclosure is issued and explained. 3 days wait, we get your loan document signed, you fund the wire to escrow usually 1 day prior to closing. Title records the deed in your name, then you get the keys. Most VA loans can take up to about 30 days. With my process, it can be as fast as 14 to 21 days when you respond quickly and follow instructions. If you delay paperwork or change finances, it becomes a nightmare. So now you understand exactly what happens during a VA escrow. But I know what you're thinking. Okay, Cathy, I understand the timeline, but what about the money? How much cash do you actually need to close? What are the normal VA closing costs? Can the seller pay them? What exactly is a VA funding fee? That's exactly what I'll be covering next. Make sure you tune in to March 30th for our next masterclass, The Money, VA closing costs, and the VA funding fee. I'll show you what fees are negotiable, what sellers can legally pay, who's exempt from the funding fee, and how to structure your offer to keep more money in your pocket. Hit subscribe so that you don't miss when it drops. I'm Cathy Sabater. Thanks for watching. Let's go in your house.